What's up, everyone? I am Ernest Dove of the Dove Report. Let's get back to some New York Mets prospect interviews as everybody anxiously awaits all the trades and deadlines. But since the Mets are not going to be kind of buyers at this market, hopefully this guy's not going anywhere. Today on the show, I've got one of the initial draft picks from the initial David Stearns draft class. He's an on base machine. He left high A this season with a 391 on base percentage, and so far through his first 10 games at the show me level of Double A, his OPS is over 1,000. Things are looking really good so far for this first base prospect. So let's talk baseball, hitting, strike zone, maybe a little plate discipline with New York Mets prospect Corey Collins. Corey, how are you, my friend?
Doing well. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, man, for coming on the show. I've never kind of met you before formally, so this is going to be awesome for myself as well as all the fans out there, all the Mets minor league junkies. As a first question, just to get things kind of rolling, can you please talk about yourself, some of your background, history, and what got you into baseball, or maybe who also got you into baseball?
Yeah, I was actually born in the north, just outside of Philly. My dad, as long as I can remember, had a baseball facility. So when I was crawling around that facility, stuck a bat in my hand. I watched him hit left-handed, and that's what he told me. So I picked it up left-handed. Stuck with it ever since. Moved to Georgia when I was 5. So born in the north, raised in the south. Baseball facility there. Again, just got into it. My dad played independent ball with the Blue Claws up in the north for a little bit. I don't really remember much of that, but he's the reason I got into it. He was the reason I was around it so much. He played baseball at St. Joe's. My mom played softball at St. Joe's. So, baseball, softball, athletic family, myself, my brother played baseball at Benedictine College out in Kansas for a little bit. I went off to Georgia. And then, yeah, like it's just always been a part of my life, part of my family. My uncle, or I guess like my brother's godfather, he played in the big leagues. Ben Davis, his name, and still he announces actually for the Phillies now. But I mean, just best friends with my dad, playing baseball with him. So really, as long as I can remember, you know, baseball's been around and played as long as I possibly can.
And it obviously went really well for you throughout the amateur ranks of baseball. So I wanted to always ask this question when I meet somebody for the first time in an interview on draft day. Like I said in the intro, you're one of the intro class of sorts for David Stearns since he took over in the front office of the New York Mets. So what was that draft day experience like for you? Maybe waiting and getting that call and being a part officially of the New York Mets organization.
I think that story starts actually high school. My junior year, I had a great season. And unfortunately, I had an elbow issue that took me out for a little bit of the rest of that summer. So I had surgery there. Senior year was COVID. And, playing your junior year, and that's all you can really ride on. You play 12 games. You hope that the 12 games that you played was good enough to maybe get drafted out of high school. So that's where the first draft starts. And didn't go out of there. The 5-round draft kind of blew up everybody's world. Nobody really knew what to expect. And then fast forward to junior year. And junior year, I had, I think, 5 weeks left in the season, went down with a hand injury. You're hoping that the initial part of the season was good enough. So you're eagerly waiting. You're talking to everybody. It's junior year, big year. And then actually had an opportunity of a free agent sign. Didn't go there. I ended up going to my senior year, new staff, new coaches. Was almost about to quit actually playing baseball. Just didn't know where I was at, mentally, physically, just a lot of whirlwind. But Wes Johnson came in at Georgia and he said, "Hey, you're going to be a stud. I'm going to believe in you." And, came out and had an amazing season with a bunch of great guys, Condon going on and doing what he's doing. That's the question everybody always asks of Condon. But, an amazing year of baseball that I had a lot of fun. And then I didn't talk to any scouts that year. Didn't talk to a single one my senior year like I did my junior year. And actually, so I'm sitting there waiting with my now fiance, girlfriend at the time, and my family, and it was just us. And I get a call from my agent, says, "Hey, the Mets just took you. Or the Mets just took you." I was like, "What?" I'd never talked with anybody from the Mets. I didn't even know we had a Mets scout in the area. But Mets took me, hugged the family, hugged everybody, and super excited. And the area scout called, and he was like, "Hey, I've been watching you for a long, long time. I don't think we've ever spoken, but I've liked you for years, and here we are." So that story is a crazy one in my eyes because it started so long ago, but in the end, it turned out for the best, and I'm really glad to where I am now.
And I know it's been kind of an up and down to you since these first couple of seasons, and now all of a sudden this year things are really kicking in. But I know from last year when I was keeping an eye on you, even to off season, I started asking around, and one of the coaches, when they described you, one of the Mets minor league coaches, uh, told me the way to describe you, he's a professional hitter, which always sounds weird when you bring it up for baseball. But my interpretation was it's more of a well-rounded thing as someone again with the high OBP all of a sudden since day one. There seems to be a whole lot of plate discipline. Even for a first baseman, it's always about first baseman. Hit a bunch of home runs. Don't worry about other stuff. But you seem to have a legit kind of knowledge of the strike zone and plate discipline, maybe the way you swing at the right pitches. I wanted to know your thoughts on that. Is that something you've kind of always kind of been around or known? Have you learned a little bit along the way? Because it seems like from day one, as he said, you're one of those professional types. I know what I'm doing right away.
Yeah, and again, go back to college days, early through my like 3 years. TrackMan wasn't really a thing around. It was very new, very upcoming for those first 3 years, and I would say that junior year is when these umpires started getting their progress, and so their zones may have been a little bit bigger, and I'm probably got out a little bit more than I should have on pitches that weren't necessarily strikes. And I had some people tell me like, "Hey, you're gonna be fine. Like you'll be good in the professionals because the zone's gonna get a little bit smaller. When you get to the big leagues, it's gonna be even smaller than that." Bang! Introduce TrackMan online reports. These umpires they can't get away with things as much as they can or they could in those days. And so again, getting my senior year with Wes there, he made me believe in it. He was like, "Dude, you have the eye." I was in the big leagues and have one of the best eyes I've ever seen. I hadn't really been looked in the eye and told that, like believe in what you do and just be stubborn. So now, I mean, at this point, I take pride in that. I want to be the toughest out you'll ever face. Of course, I want to hit the homers and everything. Who doesn't, right? But really, I just need to know that if I just stick to who I am, those will come,
Mm-hmm.
but I just want to be the toughest out that gets in the box. And the staff here, they've said like, oh, like you can do the Juan Soto eye, and like that's what we want to compare you to. And so I've heard those things from some of the staff, which is a really surreal thing, especially for me. Like having that confidence and growing that confidence through my professional career is a big step. Um, but and making a joke out of it and making it fun and something to be proud of. But at the same time, I just want to be stubborn. I just want to be a little tick, a little flea.
And I know, speaking of the power, you do have power, but I've kind of noticed even from last year to this year, again, small sample size coming in 24, mostly playing 2025, 2026. You've pretty much almost kind of doubled your kind of home run output this season. Have there been any small adjustments for you from this season from last to kind of have a small kind of huge spike in the all kind of encompassing home run total so far?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the obvious is if you were probably to look at just bat angle, like where it is in my load, the bat's a little bit more vertical. I've always had that vertical type swing and lift the ball in the air when I swing, which um, they told me this year we love it. Like that's what you need to do, and really turning that into a strength of mine as like a core value of who I am, I think is important. Just the same thing with the eye. This year it's been a full year. Uh, Fortunately healthy. Last year didn't start out healthy, but I would say like this full year, first full season technically, I've just been able to be me. So it's that vertical angle, hit the ball in the air when you swing. I may have a low swing percentage, but when I swing, I want to hit it and then take my walks. Like if there's a core value of who I want to be, I think that's it. And this year I've really just believed into that. And that's what I try and do every day. How good can I be at that every day? So I think that's what, you're seeing and the people around are seeing is it's just me believing in I want a vertical bat, I want to hit the ball in the air, and I want to take my walks. Like if I can do that for I don't even know what day we're on, but 150 days in a row,
Mhm.
that's my goal.
And again, it's been working out all season. Like I said in the intro, you started out in high A. and then you just moved to double A. I'm always curious because, again, there's a lot of jumps in every level, even low A to high A. But for you, even like you said, not really playing full, legit all the seasons with small injuries here and there, here you are finally healthy and you're jumping from high A to the show me level of double A. What is that kind of jump like for you? And I guess possibly is your plate discipline maybe an advantage for making that huge jump, at least initially, to this type of higher level, higher leg pitchers, maybe more control pitchers? Is that some of the stuff? Like what's working out going from high A to double A and immediately kind of thriving so far?
I think, I mean, knowing that I've seen these guys, in college, it's cool to see look at a roster and see how many college guys that you faced in the past before. So you know that you're at a level right there with everybody that you've competed against before, and that's just a confidence thing that I can take out there. Is, hey, this really isn't anything I haven't seen in college. I mean, you don't even want me to go down the list, but I mean, your Dolanders, your Sproats, your Caglione when he was pitching, Mason Miller, I faced him. Like all these guys, they were all right where I am now, and that's the confidence I take. Is I mean, Mizorowski, I haven't seen, but Paul Skeens, like all these guys I've faced, I've got to be around, play with or against, and that's the confidence of just trusting my eye, my ability. It's a funny thing. My fiance loves to remind me. She goes, "Corey, you led the nation in on base, right?" I was like, "Well, yeah, of course." Like, well, that's better than everybody else in your draft class, right? And there's a lot of big leaguers in that draft class right now, right? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I guess you are right. Like that's a kind of a crazy thing, but really knowing that that's a powerful. Did I lose you?
Yeah, briefly.
Sorry.
Oh, there you
I
go.
just knowing that that's a tool of mine is a cool thing. So really being around guys that I've played with or against, we just got Billy Amick. I played against him at Tennessee. You know, Experience is experience, I think, and that confidence knowing that I've played against these guys is a comforting feeling.
Now, it's pretty interesting as we kind of wind down to kind of end the interview. But for someone who kind of, like you said, battled with some thoughts, even for your future in your mind as an amateur, and then making this jump, I'm kind of curious, like, what kind of goals would you set for yourself? Like, hey, I'm not even sure if baseball was going to be my thing maybe a few years ago. All the delays, minor injuries, COVID, all of a sudden, here you are. Like, what kind of mindset? Is it a mindset change, or what are some of your goals now at the moment with everything now kind of flowing, possibly the way you've always and your family have dreamed of it being?
Well, that is a great question. Just I know that all of that has led me here, and I know all of that has allowed me to carry more and be tougher. Like I wouldn't change it for anything, knowing that that has made me a stronger person, stronger player, a better man, a better teammate. All these things of, there have been some rough patches, and there have been times where I felt sorry for myself. But I know going forward that I've made it through everything it's thrown at me, and this game's going to throw a lot at everybody. We see it all the time. These guys are very tough. The sport's very hard, but I know that going through all that has prepared me to be the best player that I can be. And I know I'm still going to learn. I'm still going to have ups. I'm still going to have downs. But knowing that I've made it through everything that I just said in 10 minutes, that I've probably excluded so many other things, it's led me here, and it's made me tougher and a better player.
And before I let you go on to having an amazing day and game, sometimes some of the guys I've interviewed, they seem to have big days after this interview. So hopefully I can pat myself on the back. But
Yeah.
as I let you go, I want to give it back to you as a version of what I did in the beginning question. If you could also now end it with certain shout outs, certain praise, it could be personal, family, it could be professional, coaches, teammates, scouts. I wanted to give you the floor for like another minute or so and just talk about, hey, this is what I'm thankful for, and maybe here's who helped me. The floor is yours to give your own personal shout outs.
Yeah, no, obviously my fiance, I'm gonna marry her in December. She's been by my side all year. Like I couldn't do it without her, really. My family who supported me from the beginning and gave me all the opportunity, obviously couldn't do it without them. But then yeah, Wes over there. I mean, I think he told me the word belief and made me believe in myself, and so that's what I want to carry with me every day. Brockman over there, a great guy. He's living a dream with his kids over there and teaching all the younger guys. But then, I mean, obviously the system here, there's a great staff and great people here. Have have been with me since the beginning that I've grown close to. And again, they made me believe myself. They reminded me of who I am and the things that I've done before as a confidence boost. But then also looking for my back because, this is my first time going through it and they've all been through it. So why not be a sponge to all of them? So really grateful for everybody here. I'm grateful to be in Binghamton and keep going down this road and finish the season strong and for everybody else out there who's supporting me that I didn't really even know until you just told me. So I'm really grateful for all that. But just want to have fun and smile along and enjoy this road.
And again, I'm grateful for having you on the show. And again, a lot of Mets prospect lovers out there. It's not just me. They've already starting to know about Corey Collins, and I hope now even more by the hundreds or thousands are going to hear about you and start flooding the online and social medias and the Mets Twitters of the world. All start wondering when's he going to show up and help us. It might be pretty soon, everybody. But again, I can't overhype things. I don't want to have a bias immediately, but I want to
Yeah.
thank Corey Collins for coming on the show. Again, this is a first base prospect, huge OBP guy. He's got the power potential. These sound like a lot of Stearns type stuff, and Stearns runs the organization, so there might be some plans here. I'm excited to see the future of Corey Collins. Thank you guys so much for continuing to support my channel. Please like, subscribe, comment. Let me know in the comments, what do you know about Corey Collins? Again, he's in Double A right now. Uh, how soon do you think someone like this can project at the major league level in Queens? Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys next time.